All right, welcome back, everybody. If you'd like to warm up, those of you watching along at home, here's the warm up. So go ahead and pause. We'll go over that after we get done going over the practice test. So, again, I say to you, there are two things that you should be studying for the Chapter 2 test. Two things. The first thing is your quiz 2-1 to 2-4. You just got that back. We just got finished going over that. The second thing is your practice test. I guarantee if you look over those tonight and redo all of the problems that you missed, you're going to be fine on tomorrow's test. But that's crucial. That's key, going over those two things. So, use this time wisely. Ask me any questions that you have over the practice test.
Number 18.
Number 18. Let's start with number 18. I'm going to move this page. All right. So, oh yeah, this is a weird one. I'm kind of throwing this one, and we haven't had a problem like this before with an inequality. We did it back in the equations chapter, but we did not really touch it with inequalities yet. We recently got a puppy. The weight can be modeled by the expression 2.4x plus 5, where x is the amount of weeks. Okay, so that expression is equivalent to the weight, the final weight of the puppy, after x weeks. So after 3 weeks, if I plug in 3 into that equation, I'm going to be able to get the weight. After 5 weeks, I plug in 5 for x, and that's what I get. 10 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever. Your pup needs to weigh at least 35 pounds in order to go to the local dog park. Okay, what does the 5 represent? What does the 5, just a single 5, represent?
Would it be number of weeks?
Nope. X is the amount of weeks.
Wow.
Noah?
The way it started at?
The starting weight. Very good. The starting weight. Guys, every time we do one of these problems, the piece without the variable is always the original amount. It's always the original amount, the starting value. Okay, whether it was like the inches, the amount of inches the flower has already been, or I don't know how many these examples we've done, but that's the same thing. The starting weight, the starting value. Okay, so now I'm taking 2.4 times x, where x is the amount of weeks. So that's the piece that's going to be continually growing. So what does that mean? What does 2.4 mean?
The weight per week.
The weight per week. Good. The weight per week. 2.4 pounds gained per week. Okay, now part C says, okay, figure out how many weeks it's going to take to be able to take the dog to the dog park. Well, it needs to be at least 35 pounds. Do you notice how when I say at least 35, that implies an inequality? If I use that term at least, that means it's 2.4x plus 5 has to be greater than or equal to 35. I subtract the 5 over to the other side. 2.4x is greater than or equal to 30. I divide by 2.4. Greater than or equal to 30 divided by 2. Oh, it's right up there. 12.5. So, there is my inequality. So how many weeks is it going to take? 12. I would accept 12 and a half weeks. Why? Because is this going to be something that's going to be continuous? Yeah, like it's not like every week 2.4 pounds pops on. You know, that doesn't happen like that. It's happening gradually, right? So I would say, okay, about 12 and a half weeks, that's when we can go to the dog park. So at least 12 and a half weeks or 12 and a half weeks or more. I probably would accept 13 weeks or more. Like maybe you're weighing them once a week. I get that too. So I would accept a lot of answers there. Any other questions about number 18? Okay, Nathan.
Can we do number 16?
Yeah. Let's take a look up at number 16. Okay, Jason is buying. This is just like number 12 on the quiz. On the quiz that we just went over, this is just like number 12 with the amount of tickets. Jason is buying apples. He wants to buy as many apples as he can afford. Apples cost $1.25. And I have 14. Jason has $14. So I have to stay underneath $14. All I got to do is just divide that 1.25 over to the other side. Does that make sense? And now we have to interpret our answer. 14 divided by 1.25. Okay. 11.2. X is less than or equal to 11.2. So we have to say 11 apples or less. Okay, give me another one to go over. Yeah. Number 17. Yeah, apparently I've been into the mulch business. Mr. Delap decided to get funny and put my name in the problem. Now, this one was a little bit tricky. This one was a little bit tricky because it changes the order a little bit. Okay, Britney Spears is deciding between two companies to mulch for LA House. Earth and Wood charges $225 for the mulch plus $15 per hour. Labs Landscaping, that's me. Labs Landscaping charges $265 plus $13.50 per hour. So Earth and Wood charges more per hour, but they have less initial fee. All right, now write and solve an inequality to determine. So I'm going to write it out. I'm going to figure out when Labs Landscaping is less than Earth and Wood. I want to know when Labs Landscaping is less than Earth and Wood. Now I go back up here. Okay, Labs Landscaping is $265 plus $13.5 per hour. Earth and Wood was the $225 plus $15 per hour. You may have had that flipped around, and that's okay as long as you make that less than or greater than. Here's what's tricky about this. I gave it to you in an opposite, like I gave it to you as Earth and Wood and then Labs Landscaping. So it's kind of flipped. So if you have it flipped around, that's okay. Just make sure this symbol is flipped as well. All right, so let's solve this. I get 13.5 over to the other side. So that gives me a 265 is less than 225 plus 1.5x. Oops, that's an x with it. Sorry. We subtract the 225 over to the left side, which gets me a 40 is less than 1.5x. I divide by 1.5. Sorry for the poor handwriting. 40 divided by 1.5 gives me 26.6. So x is greater than 26.6. Now, this is the whole Dino Discovery Museum problem all over again. We have to now figure out how we state our answer. Okay, well, what's my initial premise? I want to know when Labs Landscaping is cheaper. So that's how we start our statement. Labs Landscaping will be cheaper when, what's X? What does X mean? Hours. For more than 26.6 hours, let's go up to 27. So for more than for 27 hours or more, Labs Landscaping will be cheaper. That's my statement. That's part B. For 27 hours or more, Labs Landscaping will be cheaper. Questions about that? Okay, give me another one to go over. Nathan?
14?
Number 14. Okay, now remember, what type of inequality points out? What type of inequality points out, Noah? An or. So let's put the word or in the middle. And let's just write our two inequalities. Okay. No or equal to for the negative 2. Just a less than. But I have an or equal to on the 3. And there's my answer. Yeah.
I just finished. Can I take my phone real quick?
In a minute. Let's finish going over this stuff. Anything else on the practice stuff? Guys, again, I can't stress it enough. This is one of the best things to study from. So if you're not understanding any question on here, now is the time to ask. Go ahead. Number 10. Okay, let's take a look at number 10 real quick. Let me guess, I'm going to play math doctor. Do you have your work in front of you?
Yeah.
I bet you said on the second line, x minus 10 is greater than 8x minus 22. Is that what you said? You said x minus 10. The suspense is killing me.
I think so,
Yeah. You want to know why I think you said that? It's because I think you did this. Should I be doing that? No. We have to combine like terms. 4x and 3x makes 7x minus 10. Distribute 8x minus 22.
Somehow I got 12x.
You got 12x.
She multiplied.
Me too.
Oh, you multiplied. You took 4x times 3x. Ah, I didn't think of that. Oh well, that's okay. We subtract the little guy, which gets me negative 10 is greater than x minus 22. And then we can add the 22. Do I have to do any flipping of the symbol just quite yet? No, I will in a second. Because I want x is less than 12 as my answer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you never ask a question, all you do is ask for a little bit. Yeah.
See, Tom, I've heard things about it.
You don't
want to do it.
It's
better than that, Tom.
All right. Any other questions on the practice test? Okay, let's go to the warm. Oh, number 6. Let's do number 6, and then we'll go to the warm up.
Wait, do we not have a work?
Oh, I forgot we had warm up.
No, tomorrow's a test, so it's just to study for the test tomorrow. So yes, you do have homework. It's to study. Noah. Noah.
Putting my headband on and sweating.
We subtract the 3. S is less than or equal to negative 4. We add the 4. Again, this is the one that was messed up on the key. That should be a 3, not a 5. I forgot that negative 1 when I wrote it. Remember, the answer should include the word or. Less than or equal to negative 4. Greater than 3. Okay, let's go through the warm-up. These 2 questions. Hopefully this makes a little bit more sense. Let me move this down. Okay. There we go. All right, so first thing that I want to do here is combine like terms. Everybody please watch this, because I put this problem specifically on here because of the difficulties that we had on the quiz. Everybody watch, please. 10x minus 4x should not be 14x. You can't add the 4. No. You're just combining like terms because I'm only working with the left side of the inequality. So 6x plus 8. Leave the right side. What's my little guy? The 3x. So subtract it over to the left side. So we have 3x plus 8. We subtract the 8. We get 3x is less than or equal to 12. So my final answer is x is less than or equal to 4. Questions about that? All right, second question here. This is very similar to number 18 on the practice test. So if you were struggling with number 18, please listen up. I'm saving up to buy a new computer. My account balance after saving a certain amount of money per week, and I actually should make that X. Should have used this in the inequality. Is shown by the expression 250 plus 30x. What does the 250 mean? What does the 250 represent in this situation? The amount already in the bank. Good. The amount already in the bank. Okay, what about the 30? What does the 30 represent in this situation?
The amount you get per week.
Good. The amount of money I'm saving per week. Good. So 250 is my initial amount in the bank, the amount I'm starting with. 30 is the amount of money I'm putting in per week, so $30 per week. Now, if I want to save more than, look at that, more than, that's an inequality, isn't it? So 250 plus 3x has to be greater than $850. That's my inequality that I can set up. We subtract the 250. We get 3x is greater than 600. We divide by 3. And I get, I'm sorry, that should have been 30. Yeah. X is greater than 20. So how can we write this? We say, I'll have enough money after 30 weeks. I'll have enough money after 30 weeks. That's how we state it. Okay, are there any other questions? Are there any other questions? Yes. Oh, 20. I'm sorry, 20. I said it. Anything else? All right, I'm going to stop the video here.
Goodbye.
So long, everybody. So long, farewell. I'll keep saying goodbye.
Goodbye.